They just want to get the point across.
It's not but you don't get the point for 4 episodes. It's too much. So, now according to ET Online reports, Tyler Perry has a pre-cut and dried response to a pretty cut and dry response to the rumors about him and Oprah. Here's what he says. It's completely false.
What was that? That was your Tyler Perry impression? Oh, God. What?
That was my Medea voice.
Oh, gotcha.
Nothing is accurate in this article except for mine and Oprah's names. That's what he said. I mean, you see what I mean? You gotta stick around. I mean, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I mean, they pay us to do this, so we go off every week right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. See, Shorty, I've been thugging since a little nigga. 2-time felon and I'm still with it. Know your man telling and you roll with him. Find out that you jealous, you a whole nigga. Chose by another nigga, bitch, damn. This chopper got a 50-round clip. So this Molly and the syrup got me geeking, shorty. Ain't know I popped them Xannies, had them sleeping on me. Love in a hood full of hate. Pray to God that he open up them gates. Rest in peace to Freddie Gray and Lil Scooter. Putting on for our city, watch his door. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go. City, got my mind strong, take a time bomb. Fuck a pot, I'd rather pat the kitty. I don't want the city, don't call me Diddy. Yeah, I rap my city, way to show them something they ain't ready for. Make a voice firm so you can't ignore it. Talking shit like I'm fixing toilets. Shag a rhythm, I can see me torn. Torn cuffs, shades on, shirt off, strapped up, Molly down, blowing strong, riding around, the demonstration.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty. Here's how it works. Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right? Radio Loyalty. Click that banner to join now.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run. Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that then
your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. Mm-hmm. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
Far into this unknown to find who we really are. Crash into something new. Take a break from our broken heart. Talk with the hip, tell me you lie. I think we should go for another round. Baby, try not to say too much. Let your love come down. If you wanna rule, there's some rules you gotta live by.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I'm T, the Busy Bee.
Mark, just Mark.
And we have a very, very, very special guest with us today. Ooh, my earpiece fell off. Can you finish?
He is a very special guest. He's my brother from another. He's from my city, Chi-Town. On the north side, I'm from the south side.
I'm from Zion, Illinois. I don't want y'all calling me out. I did my hustle. I did working. I did things all over, but we right. I'm Shorty, if you don't know.
Shorty Bootleg Barbecue.
Right, we didn't even get to introduce who Shorty was.
So good, it should be illegal. He'll have you eating things you didn't think you'd ever eat.
Right.
You'll taste it. You might not eat it, but he'll tell you. Here, taste this. What is it? Man, just taste it. It's good. Trust me, you'll like it. Trust me, I know, because he's done it to me a couple times. 3-4 times. Still won't eat it, but I will say it was good. He's one of the best at what he does when it comes to barbecuing meat. Any kind of meat you want, he can barbecue it. Bring it to him, pay his fee, he's got you. The weather done broke. The temperature's finally getting right. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout.
It's about that time.
And hit him 2 to 4 weeks ahead of time because his schedule's getting booked. Yes. He does little things for little people. He does big things for big people. It don't matter what it is because all the man sees is green. And that's all that matters.
Yes. So Shorty, because I really wanted you to introduce yourself. But you got a very, very, very great introduction from Mark. I'm not even gonna hold you. It was a very great introduction. But would you like to tell the audience who you are, what you've been doing, give them a rundown?
For those that people that don't know me, and those that don't know me been living underneath a rock, I'm a pit boss. I've been here. I'm a pit master. I'm a grill master. That's my trade. That's what I do for a living. I'm also a community activist, and my activism consists of homelessness and mass incarceration. Those two things are my pet peeves in the state of Maryland. I'm an ex-felon, N62528. Shorty's Bootleg Barbecue, so good it's illegal. I put my penitentiary number on my business because I don't want you to hold my past to my future. You feel me? So we're gonna have something else to talk about other than me being an ex-felon. I also advocate for ex-felons. I advocate for prisoners' rights, and I advocate against police brutality. I'm not from around here. I didn't go to Poly. I didn't go to Silly. I went to the penitentiary, so I'm good in the hood I go. We good in the ghetto.
Hey. Yes, yes, yes.
At the end of the day, knowledge is power.
This is true. Also, what you all do not know is that Shorty is also a part of Skylyne Foundation, or he partners with us very often. He started off when we started feeding the homeless 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe he did about 1.5 years with us, 1.5 years up to 2 years with us. Before
I had,
yeah,
I had other obligations. People fail to realize this fact. I'm a homeless advocate, and I'm homeless myself. You feel me? So all my homeless advocacy that I do, I got to kind of get to work. I got to work too. So this last half a year that I haven't been working with y'all, I've been focusing on prisoners' rights, and I've been focusing on my freedom and myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't help somebody else if I can't help myself. You feel me? And I got to change my own situation to still do what I do. I still feed the homeless. I just don't do it as much. You know what I'm saying? I do it we're doing it Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And this is gonna be my last time doing it with them for a while too, because like I said, I got to start focusing on the things that I need done.
That's right.
You feel me? But anybody can be homeless. It depends on the situation, and it ain't just homeless people that we feed. We feed people in need. You know what I'm saying? We got working homeless people that got a job, that's working to pay a bill and don't have the money to feed the families. And we done fed families and anybody that come by. We ain't never turned nobody down.
Nope, never do.
We can't claim to be Christ-like and believe in Christianity and all this and in Jesus and God or whatever spiritual being you have. Because all those spiritual beings always talked about doing for those that couldn't do for themselves or helping the less fortunate.
That's right.
When Jesus fed the multitude, I was there. I told him to cut the fish and fry that shit. That's why we do it on Friday. Fry that dish. I apologize, Jesus. See, we call him God for forgiveness. I forgive you.
Yo, I was so not ready for that. That was so funny.
But you done heard it 1,000 times.
I have. That's why all I could do is fall out.
It comes natural.
Like, yes. That's how it's supposed to be. Everything that happens around you naturally. That was funny.
That was some funny.
Funny. All right.
That is
focus,
some funny.
man.
Right, you gotta
focus, man.
Where we gonna start?
Where you want to start?
Y'all can start anyway. Just pull it out the air.
Can we start with a rundown of?
Sure. Make it happen.
That happened this week?
Go ahead.
Okay, so first, you know me, because I'm from the DMV, preferably PG, but I love go-go. Y'all know that. So yesterday was my first time actually being at an outdoor go-go. It was a go-go festival for Pound Don't Mute DC. If you all do not know about the story and what happened as to why we're having festivals every other week, this is what happened. A couple weeks ago, there was no noise complaints for the Metro PCS that sits on Florida and 7th. However, that Metro PCS only plays go-go all day long, and not only do they only play go-go all day long, but it is loud, and they've been doing it for 20 years. At this moment, T-Mobile has received over like 25 complaints, noise complaints. So T-Mobile was like, okay, can y'all turn off the music? And of course, you know, that wasn't going to work for those who are cultured in DC. So what we and they did, because they put it on for us as their fans, what they did was they set up an outdoor go-go as a protest. That happened about 2 weeks ago. It was the first one with T.O.B. and MTM. If you all do not know these bands that I am talking about, just go do some research, okay? Type in T.O.B. Go-Go Band, MTM Go-Go Band, you know, put Go-Go Band at the end of all these letters. You'll figure it out. It was amazing. There was about 2,000 people there. Everyone just partied. It was a lot of fun. You know, everything went on and and that's how, you know, that happened. So yesterday they did the one for TCB and New Impressions. And boy, oh my goodness, because the first time I couldn't go. So the second time I went, and this was the most amazing feeling, being around everyone who was cultured. It was black, there was whites, there was Mexicans. Like, there were so many people. It was over 3,000 people out there, like, just feeling the vibe and just enjoying themselves. Like, y'all.
No violence.
No violence.
No violence.
I don't know if this was violence. I don't know what happened. All I know is that I was standing there and I took off running. And then they were like, oh, a bike went through the crowd. Oh, someone was fighting. Oh, there was mace. Oh, like there was I don't know what was going on.
They was trying to stop a good thing.
But no, actually what was crazy was that they still turned around and still cranked after that happened.
So they couldn't shut it down.
They didn't shut it down.
They couldn't shut it down. Kept it up, kept it going.
They told them that, and it's out there. So those of y'all who are in DC, and you know you all do go to go-go's and everything, for these go-go festivals, please stop the violence. Please do not have any violence out there, because as soon as the violence hit off, they're not going to be able to let us do this anymore. And this is like one of the first times where we actually get to have our music on the outside of our own doors. And I know you all understand what I'm saying when it comes to that. We were on outside on U Street. Outside. That never happens. It happens in communities. It happens in clubs, but it doesn't happen outside just randomly. It happens in different areas. Like, this is U Street, dog. Let's do this. Like, please leave the violence alone so we can continue to do this. I would love to be there every other Tuesday. That's what happened. I just had to share that because I really, really enjoyed myself.
That's good.
And then I went home and I did hair and made some money. That's how you finish that day. It was the best day ever. Oh my goodness, I lie to you not. Mark, how has your week gone?
My week has been fabulous. I have no complaints. For my Chi-Town people, yeah. Them boys in town. The series is 1-1. We clobbered them on Monday night. They clobbered us last night. I guess we were tired, so you know, tonight's the night. No holds barred. Winner goes home. I went down there and had a couple drinks with my fellow patron White Sox fans, and I was impressed. As bad as we are, there was about 50, 60 fans out there that had White Sox something on.
Well, it was only 60 Oriole fans though, so
no, there was about 100, 150. There was about 100, 150 at Pickles.
Oh, all
right. Sliders was kind of dry, but Pickles.
Oh, I'm talking about the stadium.
Oh yeah, the stadium. I'm sorry. Yeah, y'all will probably have more White Sox fans than Cubs fans. I mean, than Orioles fans.
Remember when the Cubs was bad? They still kept the stadium full.
Man, I'm trying.
They had rooftop gardens, and they shut them down now.
They got rooftop stadium.
Stadiums.
They got
in Chicago. We started it in Wrigley Field.
They got rooftop stadium across the street on the buildings.
On the buildings now? They getting ready to shut that down.
What?
They getting ready to shut that down.
Why?
Cause the Major League Baseball is getting ready to file a complaint about that.
Oh my goodness. See,
Somebody always
always want to kick somebody down.
Look, and another thing, y'all, can we just let people just be great? Even if you don't agree with what they got going on, just let them be great. If they feel like they did something and they were congratulated on it, or they feel good about something, let them be great. Like,
stop hating.
Keep your opinion to yourself.
Basically.
Let them be great because they did it for themselves. They didn't do it for you. They didn't do it for anyone else. And
you know, it's like people you don't deal with no more.
I'm gonna tell y'all, let you be great, but don't be fake.
Basically.
Don't be fake, because if you fake trying to be great, I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, he will too.
Right. So how has your week been, Shorty? Shorty. I feel like I have to say your name like that every time I say your name.
My week has been filled with a lot of activism. A week ago today, West Wednesday, we were at Johns Hopkins University. We did West Wednesday is a thing that Tawanda Jones does for her brother Tyrone West was murdered by Baltimore City and Morgan State Police Department in 2013. She been protesting every week, every Wednesday since it happened. All right, most consistent protester or activist that I know. All right, so last Wednesday we was at Johns Hopkins University, and we joined in with the protesters at the police protest at Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins University students don't want police to have guns. They want a gunless police force. So they have students there that have been protesting for the last 3-4 weeks. Oh, and wow. They're there today. I would be there today, but I came here too because we got to get the message out. We got to start controlling the narrative and using the camera for more than just joyous moments. We got to use it for controlling the narrative and informing the public.
That's right.
All right. And that's what this station does. This part of what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Be exposed.
Be exposed. They out in the streets. I wouldn't be dealing with them because they tell you if I've stuck with you for 1.5 years, I gotta believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
He been dealing with us for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 years ago when I broke my ankle.
Yeah.
And I remember the day. And you know what Shorty told me? Mark, what the are you?
Yeah.
What the are you doing here? You got a broke ankle, bro.
Oh, tell them.
How can you take care of them if you're not taking care of yourself? They're not going nowhere.
They're gonna be here.
Trust me, they're not.
Right.
But you need to go get yourself straightened up.
All right.
When I broke my ankle at home, I got myself together. I went to the grocery store at my line, Shorty. I got all my meats. I went to from the Fort Meade, Oldington, Severn, Arundel Mills area. I went out to Brooklyn when Shorty had a shop out there. Dropped everything off. Shorty asked me, "What the are you doing here?"
For the word.
I'm just saying.
It's
the you can't say it on the camera though.
You can't say the word.
So
the only thing Mark did wrong
was not sit down like he was supposed to.
No, that's that too. But he always brought the meat the day before. And he brought frozen chicken.
Chicken, burgers.
Oh, the burgers and stuff was cool, but you brought me frozen meat the day before, like 24 hours.
So you know what Shorty started doing? I know what Mark's gonna do.
I bought the food and
so I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna cook it up. I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna give this to him, and I'm gonna take his.
Yeah, we rotated the food because it just couldn't work like that. I gotta have time to do it. This ain't like McDonald's and Burger King. This don't come pre-made, pre-manufactured. It takes time to do this. And when we went to DC.
All right, guys.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Yes, hold that thought. Don't forget it. For real, do not forget. When we went to DC is where you stopped. We will be back in 5 minutes. Make sure you tune in and watch us on BeExposedRadio.com.
Yes, Mom? I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. so many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew.
Wait.
Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Check out this flashback.
Right. To know that I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Drug use.
It's crazy.
So again, derived from the lyrics. Talk to me about the interpersonal conflict.
So let me say this, and I think that what I'm gonna do is probably challenge a lot of what we're dealing with topically.
Yeah.
Because to me, whether we talking about material things, drug use, or anything else, it's where we teach our young people to place value.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're not going to take the person that has been given the value system, and I know we talking about young women, but I look at my son, I look at little Marvin, and one of the things, of all of the things that Marvin has decided that he would go venture into, one of the things that he's just completely stayed away from is drugs. Has no desire towards it, but I've never modeled anything about that being something. And when you look again, as we keep talking about the cultural aspects of things, we're talking about a culture and systems that creates a sense of attraction or makes this stuff attractive, you know, in its advertising and promotion, whether it's the material things, whether it's the drug use. But I believe that if you've put a firm value system in, and taught people taught your young people, your young ladies, what has value, and what literally doesn't have value, then, you know, even, I guess, kind of throwing them into the lion's den, whether it be sending them to Baltimore public schools, because everybody in Baltimore public schools ain't coming from your household, whether it be being out in the community or going to their cousin's house who live in the rougher neighborhood. You know, there can be the presence of that peer pressure, but we got to make sure that we balancing it out. So lyrics that are suggestive towards drug use is ridiculous right now.
Join us every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Conflict Resolution with Daryl White, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I hope everyone else is doing well out there. I hope everyone else had a good day. Today,
Oh, let me finish what happened to me.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
In DC.
I'm sorry.
Recap.
We were talking about in DC. So recap, if you all weren't tuning in before, we were talking about the first time that we were talking about Skylyne Foundation and the frozen chicken. And he was telling us about the first time in DC.
Frozen. It was thawed.
Thawed.
It was frozen chicken.
She didn't even know that.
It was frozen.
All right,
super frozen.
We've been feeding the homeless for, like I said, 3 years. 3 years. I've been feeding the homeless for like 11 years, and like I said, I'm homeless, so homelessness is special to me. And then they was talking about going to feed the homeless in DC because we was feeding them in Baltimore, and we was feeding them in different areas in Baltimore. We fed them down at the Inner Harbor one time, and the police came telling us that we couldn't do it. Why did they tell us no? I never understand that, but we did it anyway.
I got that taken care of real quick.
Yeah. I wouldn't go nowhere.
Am I lying, Shorty?
No, he ain't lying.
A lot of people like RBBS. Am I lying, Shorty?
No.
Nope.
We fed him.
The cop wanted to shut us down, wanted us gone, everything. But I handled that. And what we do, Shorty? What we do, Tiana?
We kept feeding them.
We fed them homeless.
We went the same way.
Sure did.
We went to DC. We went to DC the first time, and we were gun shy on that. And we right across the street from the Washington Post.
Yeah.
And right across the street from 5-star restaurants. So we fired the grill up, and we gave 5-star service to the homeless there.
Yes, we did.
We had bus stops, people on the bus wanting to stop and get plates.
Yes.
We had people.
Yo, can I get a plate?
We had parking meter people asking for plates. We had, yeah.
So if you all don't know, the way that Skylyne Foundation works is that we actually feed the homeless with hot food.
Real food.
Real
food.
Hot food
so
and
back
soups.
then, they got chicken,
mac and cheese,
ribs, collard greens,
sausages,
rice and sausage,
hamburgers,
potatoes,
everything,
baked
everything
beans.
you could think of. They would eat. They would feast. Like feast.
Your plate was full.
Like so.
2 times.
Just grabbing a plate. Yes, I will grab a plate too. I lie to you not. I will make sure I grab a plate.
No, this the lie. She didn't grab a plate. She came around to the grill and said, "Hook me up." She ain't grabbed no plate. She ain't standing in line. You can't run around, Shorty. Go on and hit me up. Bring me away.
in between Shorty and Mark, they some good cooks, man. They some good cooks.
I do a little something. Something. Just a little bit.
I mean,
until you tell me otherwise. They know. You know how that song goes? They know. They know. Right?
Right.
If they don't know, you're going to learn.
You're going to learn.
You're going to find out today. We used to have the grill. This what used to really get them going. I used to just fire the grill up. Didn't have no food on the grill. I used to take fat and put fat on the grill to make the fire kick up. And people swore I had food on the grill. What you got? What you got? Ain't nothing on the grill. Let me see. Let me see. And I opened up the grill and went up with some fat.
Watch this, y'all. Shorty has not come down DC with us in a little over a year. Do you know these people still ask for him?
Like
every
where's the man
time.
with the grill?
Where the grill man at? There's been 2 or 3 people. There's been 2 or 3 men and 3 or 4 women. Is Shorty coming today? Nope. Why not? It be what it be. Shorty's got a very busy schedule. Sometimes he can come, sometimes he can't.
I'm gonna make it up there again. I'm gonna figure it out.
It's time. The next one is May
18th.
May 18th.
May 18th.
May 18th.
Well, I ain't gonna promise, but I'm gonna try to figure something out. If I ain't working, I got some other engagements. I'm gonna do what I do. Cause see,
that sounds like he has other engagements.
People is booking me for parties and stuff now. I get paid for my work. I feed the homeless for free. I do the thing at the Shot Tower for free.
Right.
I do books and barbecue for free. I do dinner and a movie for free. But my free got to come at the expense of something else. I got to work to earn that. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-employed. So don't come asking me to do free stuff when you know you could pay me. You know what I'm saying? That ain't fair to me or the community because you taking away from what I do.
Watch this. Don't you pay public schools to feed your child?
Mm-hmm.
Feed your child. Then your child wants $20, $30, $40 a week for snacks.
What child wants $20, $30, $40 a week? You better make that $20 stretch.
Look, I'm
if
trying
it's not
to
for lunch,
20 years
you want
ago,
a snack, you better make it
It
stretch.
was a lot cheaper.
20 years
What
ago,
you mean?
$20 a week, you were good.
You was rich.
Man, now you need more than 20.
That's $4 a day. Man, you got
Now you need more than 20.
3-pack of cookies and a soda.
Man, look.
Nowadays, look at the price of everything. You know what I mean? Especially junk food.
The food that we give is 5-star stuff. You're not getting no.
We're not giving sandwiches and sending you on your way.
You ain't get no PBJs.
Not at all.
Our quality of everything consists of literally hot food, hot soups, nice clothes, toiletries when we have them,
footwear, educational items, school supplies.
We don't talk to these homeless people like they're crazy. Like, we try to keep the peace as much as possible. But let me tell
I'm bad with that.
Them ones in DC, it's okay because I understand, but you got that authoritative voice that'll make them do what you need them to do, and you know how to say it.
3 years later, we still at square one with a lot of them. Especially though. Let me not.
Okay, I know who it is. I know who it is.
DC be putting in a lot of work, man. They be making me sweat sometimes.
But Baltimore.
You didn't have to work when I came around. It was fun. We had fun.
They be on it.
Baltimore be
They be like,
cool. But
you
here's
need
the
any
thing
help?
with
All right,
DC,
I'm gonna stay over here. Then you good? All right, I'm gonna stay over here. DC, they still
they kind of rowdy.
We've
But
been
here's the
out here
thing
for
with
3
DC,
years.
though.
Y'all know how we do. Make a line, and you got 40 people right here on her back. Like,
hey, check this out.
Here's the thing with DC though. They're weirdly appreciative. And I say weirdly appreciative because one of the times when I went out there, I wasn't in my regular spot, and they literally was like, "Nah, we're moving y'all stuff, and we're gonna put y'all in a regular spot so we can feed the
and they
homies
did
over
just
there."
that too.
And they did just that, but then turned around and stole a drink. Like, that's what I'm like. They're weirdly appreciative. So I'm not saying they're not appreciative. They was just rowdy and ready to get to the clothes. I had them sitting out for too long, and they was craving. They was ready because they've been sitting out the whole time while they were eating and everything. So I feel like they were just anxious.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna go with.
The thing,
DC be anxious, Baltimore be chill.
you got to understand something about homelessness. Homelessness, you got a lot of people with different mental states of mind. And we're not gonna say mental illness, we're gonna say mental states of mind. All right, and you got to be able to transcend and meet them on them levels. You know what I'm saying? If you got to bark at one, you got to bark at one. If you got to this one, you got to this one. If you got to pet one, you got to pet one. But you got to meet them where they at.
Yeah.
Because they didn't ask to be in that position. I don't know nobody that say I want to be homeless today. I didn't come up and say I want to be homeless. They didn't ask for that. And like I said, and I keep saying, we can't claim to be Christ-like or Christian and religious and just let this go by. We can't claim to be the biggest, the best nation in the world, and homelessness goes on the way it does. That's not right.
It's crazy.
Right, we're not the best nation in the world, but there's other crazy things going on the other side of the world too. So everyone's up in flames right now. That's how.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like after I realized how crazy everything else was, I was just like, I guess we just living then.
And that's the key. We just living.
We just living.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do to get through day to day. You just got to live. So
you gotta live for today because tomorrow at the end of the day is not guaranteed.
No, but we gotta start planning. We gotta start. Nowadays our kids, we burying our kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the design of life. We're supposed to bury our parents. You feel me? So me as an elder in the community, I'm 60 years old this year. So my job and my responsibility is to teach and to reach the younger generation, the next generation, so they can teach theirs. You know what I'm saying? We got too many fatherless families. We got too many black people incarcerated in America, and we need to start addressing those issues. You feel me? We gonna become. We already nomads. We're gonna be real nomads in a minute.
You're right.
Right. So I wanted to actually get into our interview with Shorty. Shorty. I love saying his name like that. Every time I see him, I always say his name like that.
A lot of people do. A lot of people don't.
I bet. So a part of your brand and your logo is this toilet. And the toilet is sitting right in front of me. So can we start with the story about the toilet?
All right, the toilet. All right.
The infamous toilet.
This is a toilet. You remember? All right, we're going to tell you the original. This is the original story about the toilet. This is the original truth about the toilet. I'm from Lake County, Illinois. And in 1986, I shot the town up. I was a criminal. I was this real bad individual. In 1991, I left Illinois and I moved to Baltimore. In 2006, my son got killed in Chicago. But if you see the time frame that I'm telling you about, my son was born in 1991, so nobody knew that was my son, all right? But they knew who I was, all right? So when they found out that was my son, I went back to Chicago and everybody was panicking. They was putting things in the story in the newspaper talking about I was threatening to kill people, this, and this, and I was gonna do this, and this. That was my son. Yes, I wanted answers about my son's murder. So instead of putting my hands on somebody, instead of putting my hands on these individuals or or exacting some type of revenge in which they thought that I was going to do, I started putting toilets out. I put my feelings and my emotions on the toilet. Everything that I went through, I put on the toilet. Because it go like, Jesus had a cross, Martin had a dream, Malcolm got a gun. We all had our things to deal with. You feel me? So instead of me being what we call retaliatorial, I wanted to be an expressionist. You feel me? So I started taking toilets, and anytime I had an issue with somebody, I'd take a toilet and I'd serve you with one. You feel me? So that started in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, fast forward to 2011. I've been doing the toilet thing for like 10 years almost, or a good period of time. Right. But we call it potty training politicians, because people pay attention to dumb things. Alright? Remember the movie The Jerk? You ever seen the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin?
No.
I've heard of it. There's a movie called The Jerk with Steve Martin. At the end of the movie, he was holding a toilet and a dog. So I ran with that. I started playing with toilets and using it for artwork. We call it potty training politicians. So if I caught a politician was doing something wrong, I put his face and his information on the toilet, and I put it in front of his office, or his house, or his job. Ask Schellenberger, ask Greg Bernstein, ask Governor O'Malley. You made me famous for toilets, so I'm running with it. And the toilet is a prop for the movie that I got. It's called Letters to Zion. It's a legal movie, it's a legitimate movie. And they locked me up before I could finish the movie. So now I'm finishing the movie and I'm putting out more toilets.
Hey.
It's a strong conversation piece, because a toilet don't care if you black, white, straight, or gay, it take you every day.
That's where we could use it.
Fits right in.
Yes, it does.
It fits right in.
Oh my God, that was definitely a good one.
See, we don't have no more Martin Luther Kings and no more Malcolm X's and no more Fred Hamptons. We don't have that spirit of the 60s, you know what I'm saying? We got too many self-serving demigods that try to exploit our tragedies. You feel me? Who willing to put in the work? You feel me? Right. So everybody got the spirit of Martin in them and the spirit of Malcolm in them, that spirit in them. So if I can bring that spirit out of you, then I'm doing my job. You feel me? Right. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. And people pay attention to dumb things. They pay attention to this. You feel me?
Like the toilet, because that's one of the things I always remember talking to him about the toilet, and I always got the story about the toilet. He has a bigger one to go along with his truck as well. He has a dog too that goes along with the truck. I believe he has 2 of them.
The crazy thing is, his dog to another dog looks real. They growl at it, they bark at it, they try to hold their ground with it, but they always back off because this thing does not move because it ain't real. Right. But to them, it looks real. It looks
like it's a lab. It's a black lab.
Right.
And when you come back, I'm gonna tell you the story about the dog. We're gonna tell you why I got the dog.
And we'll be right back after we pay these bills. Give us 2 minutes.
Yo, he just
BeExposedRadio.com.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher,
I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt,
every Friday,
I live
7
it.
p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do. And I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Thank you guys for everyone that is tuning in. My name is T, the Busy Bee.
Mark. Just Mark. Just Mark. No nickname, just Mark. You know why I go by Mark? Did I ever tell you this story? You look really enthused. 5 seconds. I talked to a celebrity friend of mine.
Time's up.
I was
Like
gonna do the
nah.
same thing. A celebrity friend of mine.
Right. 5 seconds.
Last summer at, lo and behold, Jazzy Summer Nights. And she told me a quick rundown story of blah, blah, blah. And she said, just go with your government name.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Shorty. That's my name.
Shorty.
If you call me my government name, I'm going to call you out.
So I go by Mark. I don't go by Skylyne. I don't go by this, that, whatever, and third. Nah, just Mark. Mark, and just Mark. That's it.
Yes, and Shorty.
Shorty.
And T the
Shorty, what's up? Alright, let me stop. I got real ratchet for the thing. Okay, so right before we went to the break, you were talking to us about a movie that you are producing.
I'm producing and working in it. I didn't have no money to get it done. I lost. That's another story. It's called Letters Design, and part of the movie props is toilets. And we got a dog named Whitey. All right, we was talking about the dog. Now the dog is a protest dog, and this is the thing. You care about pets more than you care about people. And since my thing is homelessness, y'all have like 50 events a year to raise money for pets and pet cemeteries or anything to do with pets. Y'all got like 50 events. WBAL, WJZ, 92Q, Barks, but you don't have no events for homeless people. No money to raise for the homeless people. Now, the dog's name is Whitey. Now, back in the 60s, y'all used to sick dogs on us back in the 60s. Back in Chicago, when Martin Luther King died, y'all had, you can see the dogs. I'm a 50s baby. So dogs and pets I don't care about them like y'all care about them. I don't care about dogs. He don't bark, he don't bite, he don't eat. That's how I feel. Now, Whitey don't bark, he don't bite, and he don't eat.
He's the best dog ever.
The best dog ever. He don't poo-poo. He don't poo-poo. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go clean up his stuff. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? But the dog get attention. People don't go in my truck when the dog is in the truck because they scared. They think it's a real dog. Like he said, it looked like a real dog. Somebody stole the dog. That's how real it is. You know what I'm saying? You stealing people's pets.
Someone stole your dog?
Yeah, they stole Whitey. They stole it at a homeless event. A homeless person stole a dog.
Wow.
Straight up.
Did you get it back?
No, they bought me a new one.
They bought you a new one?
Replacement. What your dog died, what you do? You get a new dog. When old Yeller, when they took old Yeller behind the house, you think that they didn't get a new old Yeller?
Yeah, they did.
This is true.
Replace real quick.
This is true.
Lassie wasn't the only collie in that series.
Nor was Benji.
I don't know who they're talking about.
We talking over her head.
Look,
way over my head.
Everyone liked Lassie and this dog and that dog. My dog, when I was a kid growing up, I loved Benji, yo. Benji was my dog. That was one smart dog, yo.
That dog just wanted to eat. That's why he was smart. She looking lost. I can't talk about it.
I was so lost. And it's crazy because I know the names of Lassie and Benji. I just cannot pinpoint what movie they came from.
Lassie was the movie Lassie.
Yeah.
TV show was Lassie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So they had a whole series of shows about
Lassie,
a
a dog. A collie at that.
Ain't that some?
Benji, what kind of dog was Benji?
Benji was a mutt. Benji was a mutt. Benji gave mutts.
It was a
small
dog.
Benji
was a small dog, like a cocker spaniel.
Benji's show's name was Benji too.
Benji was the name of the movie was Benji.
It was
Benji.
5, 6, 7 different movies
about a dog.
About a dog.
Now you can have Benji in the neighborhood.
Oh wow.
Benji was a small dog like a cocker spaniel, but it wasn't a cocker spaniel. It was a mutt. The hair was so thick it would get matted. That's a mutt.
No, that's a ghetto dog because we can't afford to take him to the wash shop. We're not taking you to the groomer. We're not going to get your shots. Okay?
Wow.
If you had liver cancer, the dog got to go. He not go. The dog got cancer. I'm telling you, in the black community, if your dog get cancer, you know what you're doing to the dog, right? You seen old Yeller? Yeah.
Pull trigger.
Okay, can we stop talking about dogs, please? Because and killing dogs.
Snoop Dogg. That didn't say.
Well, not killing dogs.
We putting them out of their misery. That's not mercy killing.
Putting them out their misery. Anyway.
Euthanization.
Again, so for you all who are out there and want to know when our next homeless event is, our next homeless event is May 18th and 19th. 18th in DC, 19th in Baltimore. The times are 11:30 to 2:30 in DC. And for Baltimore,
12:30 to 3:30 in Baltimore.
No, it's 1 to 4.
Yeah, because y'all gonna mess with the farmers market. Y'all can't mess with them white. Y'all can't mess with those people
and
of color.
People of color. What pigment? Stop. Anyways, y'all, before we even get to cutting up, we are about to go to break. I love you all for tuning in. Make sure you come back. And
not on the 83 you won't.
And we are on BeExposedRadio.com.
Exposed.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret. Don't wanna look weak in your image, it ain't worth losing. So you just act as if it's nothing happening. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. What you up to, just go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father did. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey guys, and we're back because Mark was slipping. I don't know what he got going on right now.
He on his.
But he was.
I ain't slipping. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. I'm trying to tell you, fastest 2 hours of your life.
Right.
Never fails.
When you're having fun, that's how it go.
That's right.
Right. I enjoy this though.
Even when we feed the homeless, it goes so fast.
It's a party.
It is. We have fun. I used to bring music.
Speaking of party and music, so
this Saturday.
For those who are tuning in, I'm not even about to talk about this Saturday. Speaking of party and music, I am about to talk about this Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday.
So I have an event Saturday, Femo's Fitness Party. It is 4 different styles of working out, vendors, nutrition and discussion panel, and you have free snacks and you have free giveaways. The tickets are $12. It's at 719 Division Avenue, which is Tabernacle Baptist Church. It's from 10 to 3. Show out, show up, come on. Let's see us party, because we're going to do something. I'm actually one of the people who is hosting it, and I will be on stage. So come on, let's have some fun.
Come support.
Yes, everybody.
I'll be there.
$12. Also, that wasn't the first thing I was getting at. That was the second thing. So I don't know who all's tuning in, but there's something that I want to do, and I want to say out loud for Skylyne Foundation. I'm learning something new. I have to speak things into existence. So for this summer, I would love if anyone has any way to get in contact with any of the managers of any go-go bands in DC. I would love for them to actually feed the homeless with us. You know, they always give back. They always jump out and do things for the community. You know, when MPD asks them to play at different days and different things that's going on in DC and PG, you know, they do that. But now I want to switch it up. Yeah, you playing, but you play all the time. When are you going to be able to put these drums down, put this guitar down, put these mics down, put the
bongos.
Yeah, the bongos down. Like, when you going to put that down and actually put in some work and actually help the community? So Skylyne Foundation is opening up to all go-go people, all go-go artists from May to September. 1 band, 2 bands, 3 bands, I don't care. Every 3rd Saturday of the month, I want you all there. I will crank you all's music the whole time you there. I promise you I will. But I feel like this is something that we need to do to expose more of the community to showing what you all are doing for the community. It can change the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of killings in DC, you know, we got to stop the violence, because if it's not killings, it's shootings, kids getting killed, you know, different things going on. We have to stop that. So let's start putting our hands and get this work done in this community.
What Shorty say all the time? You got to change the narrative.
You got to control the narrative.
You got to.
Yes.
For every one person that get killed in DC or get killed in Baltimore, I can show you 1,000 that's trying to live.
Right.
But if you ain't trying to see them 1,000 that's trying to live, then you're going to condition your mind to death. You feel me? We become comfortable with death and murder. And we need to become uncomfortable with it. We need to rise up and start addressing the issues that affect us. If you want to stop the murder and the death, my opinion, end the war on drugs. My opinion. You feel me?
This is true. Let's start there. Like, let's change the narrative. How can you change the narrative?
Homicides, and I don't care what city you're in. Baltimore, DC, Philly, Chicago, Miami, LA, New York, Boston, St. Louis, Memphis. I don't care. Murder is murder is murder is murder. Homicide is a homicide is a homicide is a homicide all day long. You got to change the narrative. This lifestyle has become exactly what it is, a lifestyle. Oh, did you hear about Craig? Yeah, he got murked last night. Oh yeah? Well, did you hear about Jennifer down the road? Yeah. Somebody did her in.
Like why y'all gotta, we got two hands. What happened to using them?
Here you go.
We got pens, we got papers, we got
this is what
books, we got artists, we got stuff we can do to actually, like, be creative.
This is what happened, all right?
Graffiti walls.
The war on drugs is what happened, all right? When they had the war on prohibition, when they was killing people of color, white people, back in the 20s and the 30s, during the war on alcohol, you ended prohibition. And you stopped the killings and the murders. Period. You talking about the killings and the murders in Baltimore, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, but you always talking about it in the black community. Black on black crime, black on black murders. And most of that black on black murder is behind the illegal war on drugs. You got the crack epidemic where you sent thousands of people of color to the penitentiary. You also sent a lot of them to the graveyard. If you look at the numbers back in the 80s, they matching the numbers that you're doing now. But you want to fuel that fire. In the war on drugs, you're in the violence. You might not end all the violence, but you're in the main cause of the violence.
Knock a lot of it out. Yeah,
you gotta, if you want to deal with cancer, you gotta find out what kind of cancer you got, right? You can't keep treating it if you don't know what it is. We keep treating something and we know what it is, what the cause of it is. We know that the war on drugs was manufactured by Nixon back in the 60s. We know that it was perfected by Reagan in the 80s.
That's right.
And we know that Bill Clinton made a mint off it in the 90s. And we know that O'Malley made a mint off of it with his stop and frisk and zero tolerance. So how is this illegal war on drugs benefiting the black community? It's not making us safer. It's making white people richer. Look at the prison industry. Tell me something. Tell me I'm wrong.
This is true.
We've not had them conversations, and one of the toilets that I put out was about the war on drugs. Like I said, my penitentiary number is N62528. State of Illinois versus Dwayne Davis. I turned in guns and drugs to the police to end the war on drugs. Because in the 80s, I seen what it did to the community. 30 years later, ain't nothing changed.
Nothing at all.
And the church say what? Amen.
Right.
Hey.
Like the church say amen. Because I didn't know what to say. So, with the letters to Zion, because I think that's what we were on before the break. And then we busted out in good laughter because that was very funny. Whatever happened, that was very funny.
Alright. Letters to Zion is a movie I was making about my life. And like I said, my son was killed in 2006. Before my son got killed, I was trying to make a movie about the war on drugs. And I came up with the idea, Letters to Zion, because when you're locked up in jail, you write letters. That's your only form of communications to the outside world. If you can't get a phone call, you can always write a letter. Stylistics wrote a song back in the day, made everybody just think about it. It's called Write a Letter to Myself. So I started writing letters to Zion. When my son was killed, I wrote 9 letters to the city of Zion. I wrote 9 letters to the city of Zion, and those 9 letters, I broke Zion down from the day I was born till the position that we was in. and I used toilets to do it. So we started making Letters Design, and we was trying to get it finished. But as time went on, it was like a never-ending story. As long as we had racism, as long as we had murder and death and killings in the community and stopping the violence, the story kept going. And the story led to the politicians and the politics. It led to the media. It led to Jane Miller. It led to Adam May. It led to Richard Sher. And I'm naming you out here so we don't have no misunderstandings, because when I say your name, I mean it. I mean it. All right? Letters Design is a factual movie. It's like it's like Baltimore, The Wire. The only difference is I get to say Governor O'Malley, I get to say Judge Bell, I get to say Judge Holland, and they can't say nothing about it because everything that I did is on court record. We're making a movie and a documentary about race and racism. We're making a movie and a documentary about the war on drugs. We're making a movie and a documentary about being black and white America. Letters Design, Letters to My President, Portraits of a Letter. And the toilet ain't nothing but a prop for the movie.
Right.
It's a prop for the movie.
That's it.
Like the peacock for NBC, this my peacock. Don't you like my stuff?
All right.
And think about it like this, all right? I took a negative and turned it into a positive. Scott Schellenberger charged me with terrorism on February the 7th, 2011, because they was trying to stop me from making the movie and the movie from coming out. I put a toilet in front of the Towson courthouse because it represented the Governor O'Malley's bomb machine, the corruption in the courts and the racism in the Democratic Party. And let us understand this. The Democratic Party got a lot of black people in it, all right? Racism doesn't exist without black cooperation. Now, if you're a Republican, we already know that the Republicans feel like this, and this about us. You feel me? But the Democrats feel the same way about us. Except they pet us a little bit better. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and we still the cash crop. Ask Governor O'Malley. Ask Governor Hogan. Ask Mayor Pugh. You have a contract with the prison industry in the state of Maryland that don't nobody want to talk about. It's tied to your surety bonds and your 401ks. Ask them about it.
That's deep.
Wow. Right, if you're not going to come with straight facts, don't come at all.
Hey.
Because that's how it goes in winter. I mean, well, throughout time, you kind of realize that there are people or different things. Speaking of different things, and it just hit me. It just hit me. I actually reposted a article on my page about someone in the government who just got busted and sentenced to 24 years for selling black children to prisons.
Yeah. If you look at
that's heavy.
It's here right in the state of Maryland. It's in Chicago. It's in anywhere you have a high density of black people. That's why they do it. You seen the movie The 13th Amendment. You had the corporation, the Allied Corporation. That's Walmart, Sam's Club, insurance companies. You got that same thing right here in Baltimore. It's called the Greater Baltimore Committee. It's the Urban League. It's the NAACP. That's real talk. You don't never heard the NAACP, the Urban League, or the ACLU say end the war on drugs. You hear them talking about everything but ending the war on drugs. And you ain't seen the Urban League, the NAACP stand up against O'Malley when they had zero tolerance and stop and frisk. Look at the big picture here. Look at the Greater Baltimore Committee. Go look at the 13th Amendment and things that make you go,
Pay attention.
Truth and facts.
Pay attention. That's all I've been preaching all week is pay attention, because different things have different sayings. Different people do things. Different numbers mean things. Like, it's so much going on in the universe that you kind of have the way to know, but not know, but maybe be a little bit skeptical about what's going to happen next or how you should go about things based on what is placed in the universe. Like, just pay attention.
Knowledge is
like,
knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Like, again, like,
it ain't cool. It's cool to be smart.
And open a book. Pay attention, open a book. If there's anything out there you are skeptical about, I need you as a person to stop being skeptical, stop spewing out negativity because you do not understand, nor do you want to understand, nor do you take the time out to figure out if what someone is saying is true or not. But I need you to pick up a book, open this Google app, go search these articles, and go research, do some research on some of the stuff that people be talking about before you sit up here and call them crazy, man.
Stop playing
Like,
he say, she say. Huh? You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I'll tell you. Y'all can call me crazy. Crazy can't do what I do.
Right.
You feel me? I fired my lawyer and defended myself. Show you how crazy I am. I took 3 of these in the courtroom. This on court record. I played 3-card Molly in court. I had 3 courts. This is the toilet that you locked me up for. You had another toilet. Then you had this toilet. I switched the positions of the toilet every day. I had a 3-day trial. At the end of the trial, I asked the jury which toilet did they lock me up for. The jury didn't know. I was found innocent of all charges. That's some smart.
See?
You feel me? And like they say, a book. Go read Dred Scott. Go read the Dred Scott. It says that blacks have no rights in which white America respects. All right, that was written. It's and even though it was stricken down, it still exists.
Willie Lynch laws.
Willie Lynch laws. Read them. You feel me? If you wanna talk about the condition that we in, you gotta know where we come from.
That's right.
You feel me? He who knows his past can control his future. That's why they don't mess with me. I know where I came from. I'm Kunta Kinte. They ain't cutting my foot off today. Wow. Look, Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland was a slave port. Lexington Market, y'all used to sell them at Lexington Market. Like y'all sell hot wings and crabs, y'all used to sell us. That's real stuff. Now you selling us at the courthouse. And Maryland most be doing it. Yeah, things that make you go,
You should make a series called Things That Make You Go,
I do. It's called Potty Training Politicians. Make you go,
I said a series. You said.
I'm working for it. Y'all got a plug? Give me a series. I do the other work. Y'all get the producers. I do the work. I can give you 30 minutes a week.
Hey.
30 live minutes.
Hey.
See?
Go
live or go home.
Go hard or go home.
That too.
Shoot.
Right.
They should have never did this. This is like the Matrix. You understand? When they made the movie The Matrix, this is the version of the Matrix because this takes you anywhere you can be anywhere. You have these events that go on with these public officials when they had these town halls, and they'll have these events, 4 or 5 events in there at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. So what I do is I use my cell phone and I go live on each one of their events. So they don't know which event I'm going to show up at. And when I show up at the event, it's like, man, here we go again.
Right. All right, guys.
Here we go again. Break time.
It is definitely break time. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I am TDBCB. This is Smart. And to the right of me is Shorty.
Mic check.
And we'll be back in a few secs.
BeExposedRadio.com.
Now listen to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play, this chess game, and life is not a chess game. Life is real, bones, flesh, blood, decisions.
Make sure you check out the Artist Exchange Show every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
White keys only have this bitch jumping. Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, I sit around, hold up.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
How you doing? How your mama doing? Tell your kids I say hi.
And we are here live with Shorty. He is the grill king, grill master. He also is an advocate for the homeless, advocate for, I want to say this wrong, ex-cons.
I'm a prisoner's right advocate.
Yes.
Ex-cons, current cons. If you had anything to do with incarceration, we share that. We got a fraternity. It's a brotherhood.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't go to city. I didn't go to poly. I went to the penitentiary.
So, what else about Shorty? We touched on feeding the homeless. We touched on a movie.
How are your what is it? Dinner and a movie?
Oh, all right. This is our third year. This is our third year. I've been doing dinner and a movie for 3 years, and I've been doing books and barbecue for 9 years. Those are my community commitments, and feeding the homeless. Those are my three pet peeves: feeding the homeless. All right, and what we do with books, what we do is, or what would you call it?
I wouldn't call
it my hobbies or my give back,
Your hobbies,
my give back,
priorities. You're giving back to the community.
Your services.
My services to the community. There you go. Services.
There you go.
All right, books and dinner and a movie. Dinner and a movie. We show the 13th Amendment. We show the 13th Amendment. We show social justice movies. We go gay pride movie. We show anything that shows positive in the community. We show movies about activism and being active. This is our third year. And like I said, mainly we show the 13th Amendment. And we show this movie called The Return. And maybe 2 other movies. But this year, if you're an activist in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, if you're an activist, I want to showcase you. I want to show the good in the hood. If you're doing something positive, I want to showcase what you're doing. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes prior to the movie. Just like back in the day when you had a prelude to the main event. You get to be the prelude to the main event. If you do spoken word, if you do videos, if you take pictures, whatever you do that's positive in the community to try to save a life to make Baltimore better, I want to showcase you. I want to show the activism in Baltimore. I want to show the activist in Baltimore, not the actorvist. We clear on that? And I'm the one that's going to cut the cards. I'm going to say if it's right or not. Because I set the standard. You feel me? I set the bar. And I'm a fair dude. I'm easily accessible. So we're going to show you the good in the hood. If you're a teacher and you're doing stuff with kids, I want to show it. We got to start showing how to save a life. Because we already know about dying. We got to start showing them how to live. And giving them a reason to live.
Right.
Showing them how to live. You feel me? So 2019... dinner and a movie every Friday from now till the weather break, till the weather get bad. It's gonna be if you got a place that you want us to show the movie at, we'll showcase it where you at. We do 5-star food. We give you 5-star food. This week we're gonna have barbecue chicken. We having spare ribs. We having hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages. We're gonna cook some pineapples. We're going to have a tossed salad and some veggies. We're going to have some foods for vegetarians. If you're a vegetarian, we're going to feed you too. We're going to feed your body and we're going to feed your mind. We're going to educate you, enlighten you, and uplift you.
Make me hungry.
Hey, I'll make you hungry in your mind and your body.
Right.
John Hopkins University, no matter who you are, Friday, 6 p.m., 2021 St. Paul Street. The community garden. You see me smoking, you know we open. Not weed. This ain't 420.
Hey.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday. But I will take any donations.
I will take any donations.
Hint, hint.
Yo, Shorty be having me dying. I swear he do. Woo, Lord, this man said any donations. Outside of, you said, okay. I'm sorry, guys. My keys was messing with me. So outside of dinner and a movie.
If anyone's wondering what the score is, unfortunately, my Chi-Town Sox are losing 4-1 in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th, yo.
Oh, they still got hope.
Yeah, still got a lot of hope.
What, the Orioles only good for 4 good strong innings after 5, 6, 7. That's a toss-up. You done tossed a lot of them out. I have a 6-run 5th inning. Yeah, I'm hating. I'm from Chicago. I'm supposed to. I'm a Cub fan. I'm a Bears fan. I'm a White Sox fan. I'm a Blackhawks fan. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago Fire fan.
We go high. We go high, or we don't go at all.
There you go.
Now I do support the teams here in Baltimore, but when Chicago come to town, dog, that's how I get down.
All bets are off.
That's how I get down. Ozzie Newsome know me. Ask him. I know Ozzie. Ted Montebrota, all y'all's coaches. I know all of y'all, but I'm still Chicago.
They come to town. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd week.
The Bears
of
the Bears.
Yeah, coming to DC, yo, playing them Redskins.
Man, the I'm an old head.
We might have to go to
the
that
Redskins and the Chicago Bears. That's like Walter Payton. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful to see them Redskins chase him around the field.
I feel like they playing the Redskins. They not about to be sitting up here playing the Redskins. Did the Bears make it to the Super Bowl this year?
The Redskins?
Hell no.
The Bears have been to
You knew I was going to say that too. We sure didn't, but you want to know what? I promise you not, and I say this almost every other show. I feel like the whole NFL came together and had a secret meeting, and they were mad because the Redskins was finally winning, and they said they're going to take out half the O-line, and that's what's going to do it. And that's what happened.
Man,
I don't know if that happened or not, but I'm sticking to my story.
Redskins ain't. The Redskins is like
The Redskins make me mad. The Redskins need to fire the coach. I mean, not the coach. The owner.
Can't fire.
They need a new owner.
Who's gonna sign the checks?
Not the owner. The head coach. They need a new head coach.
Y'all just got a new head coach.
They can't keep going through coaches. You got to give a man a chance. If you keep going through a coach because you don't like the whatchamacallit, then you ain't gonna never have a team.
Redskins had Shanahan.
They don't have a team.
No, what the Redskins did is when they had R3, they broke him. They used him like a mule, and that's how they treat their players, like mules. Take the mule in the back and shoot it.
Have you seen him in person?
Who?
RG3. He's not that big of a dude.
Yeah, he little.
He was up DMB one night, and then like a couple weeks later, who's the quarterback now for the Ravens? He was up there a couple weeks later.
Oh, okay.
And he's not a lot bigger, but he's definitely bigger than RG3.
RG3 made me mad because he knew he needed to sit down, and he was just so motivated to get back into the game.
But
like,
your
just
coaches
sit
have
down.
a lot to do with that too.
Just sit down.
That's a coach's fault.
Just like Derrick Rose. That's a coach's fault.
Yeah. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today.
Right.
Now look at them. They both play scared.
Right.
That's why they nothing now.
Who does RG3 play for the Bears now?
No.
Browns.
Ravens.
Ravens?
Yep.
Ravens.
How he get to the Ravens?
Remember when you was little and your mom said, "Don't touch it, because if I break it, I'm not trying to buy it." Ravens broke him and they bought it.
Ravens was the one who messed up his game.
They the ones that broke him, and he ain't been right since. Now he plays for him. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
He keeps the bench warm for him.
Wow.
Hey.
But RG3, you played because I thought you were supposed to be going to the Cowboys.
No.
And then the Browns.
No.
And now you're
the Browns are going to be
at the Redskins. At the Ravens.
Browns was in it last year.
They trying to do some serious things this year.
All right, guys. It's almost that time. Thank you all for tuning in. Give us a little bit, and we'll be right back. Make sure you all pay attention to these commercials because everyone has to get paid. Thank you.
BeExposedRadio.com. Shorty, Bootleg, Barbecue, Skylyne.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that. Cool! That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, one with a home run,
hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hello, and we're back. And we're live. Like we never left.
With the toilet.
Yep. And then, haha.
Now this is contagious because just think about all the things that you can do with it. In your daily conversation, how many times a day do you use that word? And how many times do you go through that experience?
Now you're gonna be sipping tea for real.
I told you, I'm taking the negative and turning it into positive. I don't know, she ain't gonna remember this. Y'all remember the Tidy Bowl man? You ever remember Tidy Bowl man? You ever heard of Tidy Bowl man?
It's okay, keep going.
Little white man swim around in the toilet.
Oh yeah, the little Tidy Bowl.
I'm gonna be
and then he be gone.
I'm gonna be the Tidy Bowl man. I'm gonna be the new version of the Tidy Bowl man. We're gonna clean things up in the city, and we're gonna use, cause people, it's like human nature is curiosity. It's just your human nature. We pay attention to dumb things. So when I get your attention, then I'll be able to educate you. I'll get ready to enlighten you. And the more I educate you and enlighten you, the better off we all gonna be.
That's right.
You feel me? The sky's the limit.
The sky is the limit.
When you reach the sky, keep going. Because there's more out there to be conquered.
Not conquered, experience.
Exactly. Trying to tell you.
So my question for you, Shorty, is what activist is your biggest inspiration, except for yourself? Because I know you would be like me.
No, my biggest inspiration in activism and people is, it might sound corny or whatever, but my biggest one was Frederick Douglass. All right, and then it was Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Martin Luther King, and Thurgood Marshall. And I say it for this. Frederick Douglass fought for his freedom. All right, he was a slave and he fought for his freedom. And he didn't not just fight for his freedom, he fought for all our freedom. Feel me? Remember for that. He started the Underground Railroad. Him and Harriet Tubman, part of the Underground Railroad. That's why I named my business Shorty's Underground Ribs. And if you join my Facebook page in the beginning, when I first started Facebook, it was Shorty's Underground. Got 5,000 followers now. 5,000 friends. I got 1,600 followers and 300 people that want to be my friends. You feel me? So the underground is strong. We solidify because it's a common thing. I chose Thurgood Marshall.
Oh.
You keep talking, it's on.
It ain't dead. It's right here.
Fred Hampton is because when I was 8 years old, 10 years old, they killed Fred Hampton in Chicago. And me as a black young boy at that age, I was I was feeling some kind of way. So we was throwing rocks at police. I've been throwing rocks at police since I was like 8, 9 years old. You feel me? And then when I was 14, I was in the streets. So after Fred, it was Martin, because Martin was the soft one. Martin was the pacifist. I'm not a pacifist. I'm not a forgiving person. I'm just not going to let you slap me and just let that go. But I remember Martin when he was in Chicago in 68, and when he was on the west side. 68, I was 9 years old. And I remember the projects he was in. And I remember he said that if you want to learn racism, go up north and you can learn about racism. Because Chicago was really, really racist. You feel me? So after Martin, it was Thurgood Marshall. Because if you're going to do anything in America, you're going to be successful or whatever, you got to learn the courts. You got to learn the courts. And when I was out in the streets doing what I was doing, I learned the courts. I never paid for a lawyer in my life. All right? And I got cases that you would not believe. Never paid for a lawyer in my life. A judge told me when I got sentenced my first time, he said, ignorance of the law is priceless. Something about knowledge of the law is priceless. Ignorance of the law, and that's why lawyers get paid. And we got to pay lawyers, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to pay a lawyer if you know the law.
Right.
You feel me? There's no excuse for ignorance of the law. That's why lawyers get paid. That's what he told me.
Right.
And I was like, because I told him I didn't know something about the law. You know, you ignorant. So when I went to jail, I learned the law. Became a jailhouse lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote. I'm in the. If you look at my case, State Illinois versus Dwayne Davis, I wrote my own appeal. I appealed my case, and I appealed my case on the grounds of self-representation, to represent yourself. Because they say if you defend yourself, the law is a lawyer and a fool. The thing about a lawyer that defends himself is a fool. I'm a fool. I defended myself and I won. So how foolish am I? And I'm a high school dropout. I quit school in the 6th grade. The 6th grade. I went to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, but I quit school in the 6th because I went to a black school, a black high school. They didn't teach me algebra. They didn't teach me this and teach me that. I learned algebra in the 6th grade, so that's when I stopped my learning. You feel me? Because they was teaching me remedial reading. I was reading Plato's Theory of the Republic in 7th and 8th grade. When you went to Waukegan High School, they wasn't teaching black people that. They just want you basic math, basic English, basic this. They was having a riot every year. So school and me didn't, I quit.
Well, and now look at him.
Ignorantly intelligent. I'm ignorantly intelligent.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is definitely power. Have you all ever seen the movie Lucy? So y'all want to sit here and talk to me about Lassie and... Now
you got Lucy. I seen Lucy.
Y'all never seen the movie Lucy?
With Ricky Ricardo? Lucille Ball?
No, not I Love Lucy. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I used to watch that show like all the time. I love Lucy. I love Three's Company. I love Brady's Bunch. Like, yeah, I'm kind of weird like that.
Brady Bunch?
Yes. But
Marsha.
Right.
I couldn't stand that show.
Right. But I watched it because that's what my dad watched. So I watched. Oh, I also watched Smokey and the Bandit. That was my favorite. Like,
why? White dude could do what black dudes wanted to do and got away with it.
No, it was the amazement, like the intensity,
the chase.
Like, yes.
Yeah,
like,
you ain't seen Superfly?
Man, I've seen it all.
You didn't say Superfly. You didn't say the Mac. You didn't say Harlem Nights.
I was paying tributes to the other shows this time.
But that was.
I'm sorry. I was just paying my.
You showing me your white card. That's what you was showing me, your white card.
I
got a white card too. I knew old yellow and all that, but I still got to keep my black.
You know about Lassie and Lucy?
That's my white card.
Okay, yeah.
But I got a white birth certificate. I got an excuse.
Chicago had a dog for a superhero too.
Oh hell
really?
Yeah!
Underdog.
Yes.
Aww.
Remember Underdog?
That's so cute.
Heckle and Jekyll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know none of these dogs.
Heckle and Jekyll with 2 woodpeckers.
No, they wouldn't. Heckle and Jekyll was two crows.
Oh, that's right.
Two black crows.
Kind of close.
Woody Woodpecker.
Two magpies.
Magpie. Excuse me, our producer
What's
said.
ain't a magpie a crow? That's like potato. Raven.
They're in the same family.
Yeah, they all black. Call them black, they is black.
But back to Lucy. So Lucy is a movie, is ahead of its time, but it's about the moral of the movie is that knowledge is power. Basically, Lucy gets stuffed in her stomach, like they cut her stomach open and they put some type of, it looks like it should be cocaine, but it's not cocaine. It's something that deals with getting in touch with your mind, and if it's in your body too long, you can take over the world.
That's what it sound like to me.
Sound like opioids.
No, I don't think it's opioid.
Manufactured.
But you just have to look it up. It's a movie. It's just called Lucy, and she basically just starts learning how to use her brain. It's also a psychological. You know how it's like a psychological class going on the whole time this movie is playing. So you hear like the narrative, but then you see what's going on. You hear the narrative, see what's going on. Basically, by the end of the movie, she has 100% control because her brain took over. She done turned herself into a little chip that she can stick into somewhere because she said she could never get lost because she had too much information to like not disperse to people.
Right.
But knowledge is power because she started controlling everything. It is one of my favorite movies.
The
One of my
internet.
favorite movies.
Like I said, the power of the camera and the cell phone. They've made this so now that you can educate yourself and everything. You can go across the world with this. You can do conference calls, FaceTime.
All that.
You know what I'm saying? You can be anywhere at any moment.
Right, you can go live.
All that.
Y'all remember when they had that live man who was killing people on Facebook and running? Like,
That was a couple years ago.
so that was about 2 years ago. One thing I want to say is stop falling for these distractions, man. And if y'all fall for the distractions, go back and figure out what news happened outside of these wild events that happen to occur, like clowns popping up in the middle of the election. Like, that was so confusing. Like, why are clowns everywhere and why are they doing this? And this is really weird. Or Trump's tweets. I just don't understand. 45 tweets. I still don't understand why that's news.
We don't say
like,
anything.
Oh, I got one of these of him. I'm gonna be selling them. You don't.
really?
Yeah, no, I did. Yes.
Yes.
It's a squeeze one. So when you just squeeze
It
it.
blows his face up?
Yeah, just squeeze.
It's an orange?
It's a straight. Yeah, you can do whatever cover you want. And then I had
see?
a pinata. I had a Trump
Lord.
pinata.
See, he's a real activist. He goes hard. He goes really hard.
Pick a
Really,
subject,
really hard.
and that's how we're gonna go. 2019, it's gonna be like serious. It's gonna be like Freedom Summer.
So, Freedom Summer, like Freedom Writers.
Remember,
Hey!
remember 68 Freedom Riders? We're gonna
Yes.
be Freedom Summer. This summer, that's what I want to do with Dinner and a Movie. That's why I want to showcase the activism in Baltimore. Y'all gonna sit here and already got the scenario set up for failure. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already talking about the murder and the death. Well, let's start showing the life. Start showing the good in the community. Start showing the hood. That's the changing and controlling of the narrative.
Speaking of the good of the community, right? On WJLA, which is one of those channels in DC, yesterday we were on 14th and U. So they recorded it, or they reported our movement as chaos on U Street.
Because that demonizes you. That takes away from what you was trying to do.
Let me tell you, y'all, the media is really strong, okay? The media is extremely strong. Don't pay attention to the things they say. Just stop. Like, take a step back, reevaluate, think of is the title what is matching within the article? Because that's not completely true. Because sometimes they spruce up the title and the article will be completely different. Like, one day I read the title and I was like, what? And I went to go read the article and I was like, this doesn't match.
Here goes
But
one.
they do that because they know, and it has been said, if you put things in a book, black people won't read.
Here go one for you. If y'all got
and that's the first thing you say, what are you gonna do?
you got media.
It gotta be better.
And the media comes into your community. You see news 6, 5, 6, and 10. Start holding the media accountable. If they reporting stories that you don't feel comfortable with or that you don't feel are complete, shut them down. Send them back to their stations. They don't belong on the streets. start setting the precedence. Start controlling the narrative. If you start doing that to them on a live feed when they're doing live at 5 or they're live at City Hall and step in front of the camera and tell your truth, it's going to negate what they talking about. Right now, mainstream media and print media is looking at social media because they have no hold on us no more.
Right. And everything comes from social media.
Everything comes from so take control of it and put them in their place because they've been demonizing the black community too long. How many times, if you turn on your TV, do you see a black woman with breast cancer?
Right.
You see that every year, but we got breast cancer too. We got issues in our community too, and you need to start highlighting them. That's what they're here for.
Right, because you seen Power. You seen. I don't want to really bring it up, but you seen Empire. That's why. But it still shows things that happen. It's just a little.
It's blowing it out of proportion, and you giving
false pretenses.
You giving false hope to people that ain't got no hope already.
Right.
Empire, you can't kill people like that and get away with it and still have your empire. That ain't how that work. Cookie it don't work like that. Learn how to separate fiction from reality. That's your first step. Learn because everybody can't be Jay-Z. Everybody can't be Beyonce. Y'all can't, what they used to say, keeping up with the Joneses. Yeah. Y'all can't do that.
And I was playing with the Kardashians.
I wish you would, you butt implant people. Y'all be getting implants and implants. We got ours naturally. Naturally. We fat, thick, and rich. We didn't have to pay for it.
Right. But one thing that I did want to talk about, which is actually, this is very good because over time, Mark, when I was actually gone, I was trying to figure out which way to take the show because I wanted to do more. And I did feel like the next thing, and I think we were both probably on the same page, was to talk about activism. And it only helps more with Nipsey Hussle's death because he was an activist. And he did things other people couldn't do.
Right.
And it's all exploited and everything now. But like they say, and the marathon continues. Like, I put up a post and I was like, so when are you all going to stop trying to play the blame game and actually do what he says? And what you all have to realize is that he was about to release information, and they keep saying a documentary about Dr. Sebi. Okay. And they want to stop at only the information that's already on the internet. What they don't know is that Dr. Sebi had a lot of things that could have took out the pharmaceutical industry completely. And what you all don't know is that majority of the world need a pharmacy. And they make a lot of money, and the higher ups actually put in a lot of money into those programs specifically because they have to try to keep these people alive, but that's their work, that's what they do. So if he would have took out the whole pharmaceutical, do you know how many jobs would have been lost? How many different things would have happened? How many different ways people would have had to try to make money to figure it out? Because now we have the knowledge for ourselves. That's what really happened, and that's what people are missing. Like, stop looking at things for the face value.
Go deeper.
Look deeper. Always look deeper. Everything you see, always look deeper, because nothing is at face value. It's always what's behind the scenes.
Deeper.
Okay? And on that note, I need you all to continue to tune in. And we will be back in about 3-4 minutes. We have to pay some bills, and we'll see you all soon.
Mic check.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another? We share the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose of unspoken battles we won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. Stop chasing cheese or you'll get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never render it back. No, it's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. You wait to get.
You use Tearless baby shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. That's safercar.gov/.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are into our last segment. Yes, we made it fastest 2 hours of your life. All you got to do is pay attention and hear us. And watch us and laugh with us. Thank you to everyone that has been tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. I really enjoyed the show because this one was more so towards justice and what Shorty has been doing as an activist. And it's opening up your eyes to a lot more. Like what I was saying before we went on break and before I went on my little tangent was that Nipsey Hussle had a marathon. I said Nipsey on because my mouth said Nipsey and marathon at the same time. But he had a movement that was going. And we have a choice. We don't have a choice right now but to continue that movement. And Shorty is one of those people who is there to continue that movement. We are one of the people who is there to continue that movement. Like I said earlier in the show, it's about rebuilding the community. Let's get out our bag and rebuild the community.
You can you got to get out your comfort zone, and you got to make a commitment. You just can't talk about it like you at the water cooler or at Starbucks. You got to put in the work. It's just like a prayer. You praying for something, you got to work for something. It don't come to you, it ain't gonna fall out the sky. We've been here for 400 years and we already know it's a struggle. This is a struggle. So, man up, put your pants up, do what you got to do, but we dying out here, man. I'm tired of burying our kids.
Right.
I'm tired of burying our kids. In the war on drugs, let's open that conversation. Let's force that conversation.
Speaking of ending the war on drugs, do you know that almost 46% of the United States is about to decriminalize
marijuana? But you ain't gonna stop selling. So you're not gonna stop sending me to jail?
No, actually, in states. This is all on my Facebook page. Anything that I repeat right now is all on my Facebook page because all I do is look at it and repost it. I believe it's Georgia. They just undid about 24,000 cases that were related to weed, like small cases that were related to weed. I believe it was Georgia, but it could be a different state. And it still could be 24,000. Either way, there are different changes that are being made. So it's a slow and short process.
Don't, like you said, look at it deeper than this. If you gave up 24,000 people out of the penal institution, and I'm making $45,000 a year for them 24,000, that's a trade-off. They don't give up their money like that.
So what? I mean,
they gave up that 24,000. So now who did they repeat in, or was they had that 24,000 for bed space that they was waiting to put somebody else in to make it look like something? Because that 24,000 that they put out, they're gonna repeat offenders, even if it ain't marijuana or whatever. Because you just instantly let 24,000 people out of jail, and they're not gonna have 24,000 jobs available for those ex-felons.
this is true.
So now you're gonna put me in a position. You freed me to do what?
Be homeless.
So now I'm what? I'm gonna go do what? I'm gonna go. I might not be marijuana, but I'm gonna do something because I need what? I need money.
You need money. You need.
I gotta do what? Food, clothing, and shelter.
That's right.
I'm straight out of jail. So in other words, I've been in solitary confinement for 6 months. You let me out of solitary confinement. I've been in solitary confinement for 6 months, and you put me out on the streets.
You been by yourself for a minute.
I've been by myself
They're
in
gonna
solitary.
give you a punishment. They're gonna tell you go to the corner.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in solitary confinement as you in the room 6 by 10 for 23 hours in and 1 hour out. That's mental conditioning. So now if I'm angry, if I'm bitter, what's gonna happen to me when I come out to the community? You're putting a time bomb in the community.
That's right.
You feel me? And you talk about making it safer. You're creating some unsafe environments.
I think that they should have like towards like the last couple months of someone's sentence, they should be moved into some type of environment that'll help them get back into
They are, but there's not enough facilities called halfway houses, and they're called.
Do you get to the halfway house before or after your sentence is over?
It's right before your sentence. It's to bring you back into society.
Okay, but halfway houses are. I don't feel like halfway houses do. Like when I think of a halfway house, I think of a whole bunch of junkies that live in a house trying to get there.
Those are some halfway houses. Those are rehab houses. But you have the same thing that you have with a rehab house. You have a halfway house. And the halfway house is it's transitioning from jail to the streets.
Okay.
It's not a rehab house. It's a correctional halfway house.
Okay.
But there are not enough of them.
Right.
Because there's so many stipulations in the court documents that you're not qualified to get into it for one or two reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it keeps you. It's there, but it's not there.
Right.
Okay. I just wish I just would like for them to put more of an effort into actually turning people around. That's
No, what we need in jail is a oversight committee inside the oversight inside the prison. You need a person like me with a body camera on in every jail and every prison to monitor what's going on. Not for the inmates, but for the inmates against the guards, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in jail that y'all don't know about. Just because you sentenced me to jail.
We gotta close out.
All right, close out.
Because I knew he was about to go there.
I'll do that tangent.
Another 2-3 minutes, and I got it, and I understand. But thank you, everyone that has tuned in. We are here every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can always catch us live on Be Exposed Radio's Facebook page. Make sure you follow my Instagram at @T_TheBusyBee. Make sure you follow Mark on Facebook at Mark Gray, Mark Skylyne 1, Skylyne
3.
He has about 3 different pages. Make sure you follow
get
Shorty.
a 4th one.
Dwayne A. Davis?
Dwayne G. Davis.
G. Davis.
Shorty's Bootleg Barbecue.
Yes. And we are on our way out. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see y'all next week.
The Art of Protest.
Yes. On Be Exposed Radio.
The Art of Protest. Y'all come back now. You're here.
Go White Sox. Shout out to Harold Payne and the family.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the On the Come Up radio show.
But I meant to say slap, so you want to stick on that. But anyway, slap walk.
You taking slut walks now? What is going on?
Can I have some of that wine? That was funny.
Not with the cup.
I don't know. I got my cup right here, babe. Where that wine at, bro?